Hey, welcome back to the channel, folks. On this week's episode, we're going to pull out the boat and go do a little bit of fishing here. So, we're going to pull some boards, pull some cranks, and see if we can find any walleyes. And this ends up being, filmed over 2 weekends, just to tell you. So, first weekend was a little bit hairy out there, pretty windy. But the second weekend was really nice out there. But come along as we head on out and do a little fishing. But first, we need to go ahead and we need to get the boat out and get it ready. All right, so this boat has been in the back of my shop, I guess, pretty well since last fall. It came out just for a minute. I took it out to Home and Marine. It got the 10-hour checkup. Oil was changed. Everything's ready to go. I do want to comment on this boat a little bit. This trailer, being 7.5 foot wide, pulls in and out of that shop so easy with them 9-foot doors. But what a beautiful boat! If anybody has any interest, I did a review on this boat. I do a walkthrough on it. I love this thing. It really did turn out well, and it's a beautiful boat. This is all custom. I ended up with 3 chairs. I did the vinyl flooring in there, and I basically built this thing the way I wanted it, and when it showed up, it was exactly what I wanted, and I couldn't be happier. So let's talk about that just for a minute. When you are looking at buying a Crestliner boat, they have it's like a boat builder deal on there where you can pick out what boat, what platform, what size, all that stuff, the motor, the colors, everything. So what I ended up doing is I went on there and I kind of looked at everything that was available to put on this boat. And with that, I didn't order this thing. I didn't have it sent anywhere. I just kind of wrote everything down, did a printout of everything that the minimums that I wanted to buy this boat. I was trying to do it on the best I could, on a budget, and I achieved that. I mean, this boat was very, very inexpensive, to be honest with you. To walk out of a showroom floor with a brand new 16-foot tiller with a 60 horse on it, all decked out the way you wanted it, for just over 28 grand. I don't think that's a bad deal. But in the process of going through and looking at all the bells and whistles that you could put on, my email ended up going in there, and not long later, there's a gentleman, I guess he's the area salesperson or area rep. His name is Ryan Mecklenburg. He reached out via email to me, and he asked me if I had any questions about the boats, if there was anything that I would do different with it, all that stuff. He was very concerned that the boat builder was working right and the options that I was looking for were there. And I told him, to be honest with you, Ryan, I just had this thing ordered up down at Home and Marine. And he was so happy. He sent me back another email and he congratulated me on that. Welcomed me to the Crestliner, the Crestliner family, I guess is the way he put it. But since then, we've remained a little bit in contact, and he found out that I did a couple of boat reviews and tours on this Crestliner Kodiak, and he watched them, and then I ended up getting a little something in the mail. Jeez, I've never got anything for doing these videos. They're just for fun. But I'll tell you what, I ended up with this hat. I got this other hat. Got a nice black hat with it that says Crestliner on it. I even got a tumbler. Oh, I'm just tickled that all that showed up. Thank you, Ryan, and thank you, Crestliner, for being such a great family to be with, I guess we could say. So, all right, let's move along here. All right, it's time to get in the boat, get her ready to go. So this 4-foot step ladder is a saver for getting in and out of this boat. It's so much sturdier getting in and out than jumping up on the fenders, and I would suggest it to anybody. But I have to get my batteries installed at this point. they've been in my house, in my basement. I do live in Wisconsin. It gets cold. Freezing batteries does nothing good to the life of them. So, you know, it's part of the deal. I pull them out, I charge them up, top them off. I put them down in my basement. I make sure to put them on top of wood. Putting them on concrete will wreck them too. So let's get this hooked up. So now I do want to, you know, comment on this a little bit. I am putting, someone's gonna beat me up about this. There's a negative and a positive, and you should always put the positive on first. But this is a 24-volt system, so only half this battery is actually getting hooked up to anything, and the positive is actually coming through to the secondary battery here. So they're running, you know, these two batteries together to achieve the 24 volts. So right here, you're gonna see that, you know, I'm getting the positive on. So the positive from the other side actually goes to the negative on this battery, and that's how they make 24 volts, folks. I don't know, it just works. The Minn Kota runs off 24 volts and it works like a champ. We're gonna go ahead and put the bungee cord on the transom saver. These things are just awesome. I would suggest anybody that has them, buy them. They really do help. I'm gonna put the plug in right now too, and you know, there's always a story behind things that people do, and I don't want to get into that one too much, but lessons were learned years ago. So now it's time to start. Let's get loaded up here. Let's get the trolling rods in. I want to get my tackle in. Heck, I'm even gonna grab Jacob's net. You know, he's not around. He's out doing something else. Ended up getting a phone call from him about that because he went fishing. He just got himself a different boat too. He's running around in a 14-foot Lund Rebel, and he was a little mad at me about taking his net. But anyway, so here we are. We're gonna put the rods in the pole holders, I guess, on the side. These things work phenomenally. You know, it's kind of a bungee cord system. The bungees are really tight. I've had zero issue with them loosening up. Eventually I'm sure they'll wear out, but they are working great in year 2 already. Everything's working out, you know, perfectly on them. It holds all the long rods easily. I put my bag of tackle on top of the top of Jacob's net so it doesn't blow out. And time for a little gas. This was not a good time of year for buying gas, I guess, but we make it all the way out to Petenwell County Park. So we have to buy a park sticker that costs 24 bucks for the season, and now we're ready to go out onto Lake Petenwell. Pull the transom saver. Let's get the straps off the back. That's, you know, important stuff to do, you know, before you back it into. Make sure you're not that guy sitting there in line to push it in and having to take all this stuff off. Get your boat ready before you back it in. So now the boat is in. I've got the motor warmed up pretty good. I'm kind of putting along, and you know, I don't like running a motor real hard when it's cold. You know, let these things warm up a little bit. They are finely tuned machines, and anyway, this thing's got, you know, under 10 hours on it, fresh oil in it, you know, but it starts right up. Everything goes without a hitch. I do want to say that, you know, it's going to be hard to tell, but it is choppy out there today. I mean, we are out in some waves. I mean, the wind is coming. It's running right down the lake. Those waves are building up. I mean, I've seen it a lot worse out there, but it's not great out there. I mean, we're going to say that this is a lot more than just a walleye chop. And, you know, some of these pictures or some of the video, you might see some of these waves and it might make sense, but the video really doesn't really show how big they are. But regardless of that, I want to get you know, a crankbait in there. I want to do a little trolling. We're going to see what we can do. So in Wisconsin, we are allowed, you know, on pretty well all the different bodies of water. We're allowed 3 poles. So I'm out. This is a Wisconsin river system, so I'm going to run one trolling board out the right side, one out the left side, and there's a reason for that. You know, with as choppy as it is, it's just these boards are going to get beat up and they're going to be cranking on everything, you know, with the waves jumping them up and down. So I'm just going to run one off the right, one off the left, and call it a day. So we got that one out. As far as setting these boards, I generally I run about 35 or 40 feet out on a deep diving crankbait before I attach my board. More to come on that and why, but that's my system, and it saves a lot of crankbaits. So I'm going to go out the other side. In some of my videos last year, we talk about running them out, all on the same side so you can see them while you're trolling. We do that in the second weekend, but anyway, this weekend I don't want them out there too far. I don't want them getting tangled. I don't want them getting messed up out in the waves. I'm just going to kind of keep them tight. I don't think I'm running these boards, maybe 20 feet out from the side of the boat, just to get them out a little bit further away from the fish, and that you don't get that, you don't get fish that are a little shy of the prop noise and stuff. So here we are, we're tooting along. The waves, like I say, you can't see them too well, but you can see the boat is doing fine. There's no water coming in, no issues. I mean, granted, these aren't 4-foot waves. They're not 6-7-foot waves out on Lake Erie by any means, but they're pushing up. They're 2.5, 3 footers out there. So I'm trolling in, anywhere from 7 foot of water all the way up to 15 foot of water is generally what I'm trying to do. So we're pulling these boards that are pulling the crankbaits, and this view here you can kind of see the waves a little bit better. Yeah, they're pushing up. You can see some capping out, but again, nobody's getting sick. Nobody's seeing water coming in. This boat is working just great. It's comfortable. There's my wife. She's not one to be out in the boat a whole lot, but she is along. So Mrs. PBR is out there with me, and she's doing some of the filming, and she had no issues out there either. So here we go. It's time to pull in my first fish of the season. Wah, wah, wah. Yeah, what is that, like a 9 or 10 inch walleye? My goodness. That crankbait's half the size of the fish. Must have been hungry. But, it's my first fish of the season, so I'll take it. Alright, let's try to find a little different area here. So I'm kind of thinking about where I want to go and watching the speed. And by the way, this thing idles so far down, like I can achieve well under 2 miles an hour. Oh, now this part here. Now I want you to notice the sticks sticking straight up. I mean, they're coming within 5 foot of the bottom. So you see them? Those are trees. When they put the dam up, they filled this lake halfway, left all the trees up, and after it was halfway filled, or so far filled, they ran around with boats and chainsaws and they topped them all. So yeah, that's where a lot of crankbaits end up, but the fish just love the structure. They do so much, and here we go. This one is probably close to legal, but not legal. We're not keeping any. I mean, that's probably closer to a 14-inch walleye than a 15. But on this lake, you are allowed. It's a slot lake. You're allowed so many fish between 15 inches and 20 inches. From 20 to 28, there are no fish, and you are allowed 1 trophy fish over 28 inches. That last fish somehow or another shook my board. I usually double wrap my rope or my fishing line around the front, and I don't know how that one got away, but I was able to retrieve it. So with that, it was a short day out there, pretty choppy. We wanted to get the boat bet just to see, how things are doing with it, just to get the season started. We had a late start. The weather was crazy this spring, and getting it out was hard. Pull the plug, not an ounce of water coming out. I mean, there was a lot of water out there running against us, and nothing ever came over. So, I can't be happier with the performance of that boat in the waves and how it handles and how easily this thing loads. I have loaded this thing, I don't know how many times. I have never missed. Alright, so part of luring my wife out to go with, I might have to bribe her a little bit, and there is an awesome ice cream place on the way back home. Rocky Road ice cream, they got all kinds of stuff, but yeah, we love stopping there. And Just to tell you, one of those was a toddler size and mine is the small size. I would be very careful ordering a large there. They are huge. But we decided that the following week, let's get out there. You can see the water is so much calmer. There's just a little bit of a chop out there, but it's beautiful. So a lot more boat traffic. Here's a legal. Got one. Happy days. We ended up, he wanted to get back in real quick, and yeah, I kind of mishandled him a little bit, but yeah, back in water he goes. We're gonna pull the boards again, same deal, but I'm running all 3 of my rods that I'm allowed out the one side. And again, I do that because of where I'm sitting at the motor and how easy it is for me to, watch all 3 of them while Mrs. PBR is busy in the front catching a tan. So here we go, another fish. My goodness, what a day. This one here, not a walleye, just a white bass. We ended up with 2 white bass, 2 walleyes, and 2 sheephead, and a couple more ice cream cones that day. So yeah, anyways, that boat worked great the first 2 weeks. We didn't spend a whole lot of time out on the water, but the time that we did have out there, the boat worked flawlessly. I'm very happy with it. For the amount of investment I have in that boat, I couldn't be happier. I don't think I could buy a used boat for what I paid for that thing and have it set up exactly the way I wanted it. So stay tuned for our next episode when we end up doing a little salmon charter out there in Sheboygan. So that'll be coming up. But I did want to thank everybody for watching this video, coming along. If you have any questions, please throw them in the comments. I'd be happy to answer them. There's been a lot of questions on that Crestliner. Happy to answer them anytime. All right, we're gonna cut this. We're gonna cut this one right here. But thanks for coming along. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.